Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supporting the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doko Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doko Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome.
Ready? I'll call to order tonight's regular town council meeting, the town of Blythewood. Today is Monday, July 25th. The time is now 6 p.m. Mr. Williamson, please conduct roll call.
Councilman Brock.
I'm here.
Councilman Griffin.
Present.
Councilman Baltman. Councilman McKenrick. Mayor Franklin.
I'm here, thank you, and Councilman McKenrick obviously is excused from tonight's meeting due to a recent death in his family. Mr. Wason, was tonight's agenda, notification and posting of the agenda completed in accordance with state law?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Gentlemen, before you use tonight's agenda, if it please you, I'll be looking for a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve.
It's been properly motioned and seconded to approve tonight's agenda. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Thank you. Let us all join Councilman Griffin for tonight's Pledge of Allegiance and invocation, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts and open minds on this, although stormy evening, but a beautiful day to still breathe life into everything that we cherish, including you, your name. Heavenly Father, we ask you, this town and this council, to be with our fellow colleague, Councilman Rich McKenrick, and his family as they deal with the loss of a father, the loss of a mentor, a friend. Just hold them and guide them and let them know that he's all right, that he still loves them, and that God will provide everything that the family is in need of at this moment. And please continue to hold them in your loving arms. Heavenly Father, we ask you to guide us as leaders of this town, guide the staff as they keep the town in such a beautiful manner. All these things, dear Lord, we ask for your name. Amen.
Thank you very much. We will proceed tonight with council member remarks. We'll begin on my right, your left, Councilman Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Welcome those in attendance, those at home. Thank you for tuning in. Those who will watch in the future, thank you for watching our town council meeting on July 27th. For those that are not here, we are getting some much-needed rain, and quite a lot in a very short period of time. I just have two quick remarks, Mr. Mayor. As Councilman Griffith alluded to, I'd like to send heartfelt prayers and thoughts to Councilman McKenrick on the passing of his father. And lastly, on July 8th, we received an email collectively from Miss Melissa Cowan, who announced her intentions to resign, which was effective Friday the 22nd. Fortunately, had the opportunity to get to know Ms. Cowan professionally and personally, and I have nothing but positive things to say. She's a wonderful person, and I know that she will be very successful in her future endeavors. And she is missed, and she's welcome here at any time. Melissa, if you see this, we love you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Ballman. Thank you, sir. Councilman Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council. I'll be very brief in echoing in the prayer and what my fellow colleagues said about our dear friend and colleague, Councilman McKendrick. As I sent him a text yesterday, you in my thoughts and prayers, and please don't hesitate to let us know if anything we can do for you and your family. My comments are brief. I am forever satisfied on where we are headed as a town, and I think although we had a lot of growing pains in the transition of new council, but I think we're headed in the right direction. So
With that, Mr. Mayor, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to mayor's remarks, and again, I'll be brief. Echo exactly what my colleague said. Rich McHenry, we love you. If you need anything, please let us know. Melissa, fantastic employee. She's going to be greatly missed here, but I wish her much success in her future endeavors and what she chooses to do next. Also, minor leagues, the minor league Blythewood Park boys baseball team won the state championship. They didn't just win it, they dominated it. 6 games in a row, and they won all 6 of their games. 12 teams come into every state tournament in the 11 southeastern states, and now there are 11 remaining, plus the host team in Lumberton. So they start, as Councilman Ballman said, on August 6th. If you can make it, great. If not, there's an app called Game Changer. You can look for Blythewood Miners and click on that, and you can follow the action live if you choose to do that. Support our youth here from Blythewood as they represent the entire state of South Carolina in the Little League World Series. Just want to keep getting accolades and compliments from the July 4th event. I just can't say enough about it. I just want to thank the town staff and Ms. Coggins and everyone who put a lot of effort into that. That thing gets better and better every year, and we're proud of that. So thank you all for your hard work. Recently, council attended the annual event of the Municipal Association of South Carolina down in Charleston. Very worthwhile event. I know we get skeptical when we see town council members go away out of town to do things, but I'm going to tell you the networking there is incredible. Each of us talk to our colleagues all throughout this 3-4-day event, and we get good ideas on how to make our town better by using the experiences and best practices of other municipalities. We also invite them to come see what we have to offer, and as we learn from each other, how to spend ARP money and how to dedicate your budgets to your values. And we learn a lot, and we get training as municipal officials as well, a worthwhile event. And I think we got a lot out of it, and you're going to see that, the fruit of that come forward in the future. With that, I'll complete my remarks, turn it over to Mr. Williamson for town administrator remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sadly, Melissa Callan's last day was this past Friday, but we are currently advertising for her position. Meanwhile, Julie and Anya did some business license training this afternoon, so we will be ready until we can get the replacement. The town received a $250,000 grant from the state for the park security improvements. We were also notified today in the mail that the town received a $500,000 request for redoing the athletic fields. We're continuing to review different options and quotes for the security gates at McLean Road and Sandfield Road. And we are also talking with Richland County and other security companies about providing the additional security at the park, as y'all requested. I think hopefully we're on track here. The zip line says it will be here in early August, so that's coming up. So I haven't heard any recent delays, so I'm counting on that. The shade structure for one of the pieces of the park, it'll be about 8 weeks, they said, so have that on track. And then just as a recap from the boards and commissions, the Planning Commission did not meet in July, but the Board of Architectural Review approved the design of a commercial office building on Wilson Boulevard. And finally, just want to remind the council that next week is the joint Planning Commission and Town Council meeting. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor. Yes, please, Councilman Brown.
Mr. Williamson, do you have any updates on bump guards in front of the playground?
I need to continue to work with Councilman Griffin on that.
Okay, thank you. Moving to the approval of the minutes, we have in our packets the Town Council meeting of June 27, 2022. Please, Council, be looking for a motion to approve those minutes.
Mr. Mayor.
Please, Councilman Brown.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to recommend a minor revision on page 4 of 8. In red, it says Councilman Brock recused himself from action item C at 7:39. That should be action item D, and so that should be moved to page 5 before second reading of ordinance 2020.008. And if there are no other amendments, I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Second. Then properly motioned and seconded to approve the Town Council meeting minutes from June 27, 2022 as amended. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving to part 2 tonight, we have a presentation from ReadyOps Software for Emergency Communications to the Town. Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilman Griffin has prepared a presentation on ReadyOps software that will assist the town in contacting its citizens during an emergency. So I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll be quick. I didn't want to do a big, bold presentation. Most of us have seen it. Mr. Williamson and I have sat through a presentation on the software piece. So where this come from? So in recent events, the interstate event that was a hazmat incident recently, as far as the town, we don't have a way to notify people of closures, shelter-in-place orders, those such things. And just based off of my line of my profession, looking at it, we're missing a link. There's opportunities for misinformation, where businesses may look at Facebook and say, where such and such is sheltering, so should I shelter? And it really causes a major headache. In a town as small as us, we can really control a lot of the information flow. So in doing the conference, so this is some of the fruit from the conference. I was working with some other members down there that were using this program. I am familiar with it and thought that, let's go ahead and give it a test. So I set up some test portals during the conference. And what happened was there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. There's 10 different groups. There's an elected leadership group. There's a town staff group. In those groups, your name, phone numbers, email addresses are put into a database. And what happens is when there's an incident in town, the administrator or whoever he deems access to this program can go in and type an alert message. We get it by text message, phone call, email, like all at the same time. It will continue to notify us up to 10 times. And it keeps a log that you actually received it, you answered it, you acknowledged that the incident, that you received the incident. Also, in these subgroups, there are other groups, schools and daycares, whoever's in leadership in those institutions in Blythewood, we can put them in those boxes. We can have a Richland County Sheriff's Department contact, Columbia Fire Department contact, and the business community. Since we house the data for the business license, we can inject that information in so that all of this information, if things like that happen, boil water advisories, that we push it as we received it from the source to the business community. So there's no hiccups or misfaults because online rumors. So we want to control the online rumor mill. Blythewood citizens would also have a chance to subscribe to this link. So it's an opt-in. We won't just go automatic and put residents in, but there will be a link provided where the residents can subscribe to it and receive those updates. I'm going to stop right there and say something because something was brought up during the conference about citizens and, where political entities can get data and use it. This is not for that purpose. And I think that if we go with this program, we control that head on, and that's an administrative duty. That is not a duty of council to input any information into the system. That's strictly to you and your staff, Mr. Williamson. So we can hold that data sacred is what I'm getting at. If by case one of us access this portal, it's time-stamped. We know what you clicked on. We know what you downloaded. It's traceable. So it's all traceable and can be for you as anything else in the government world. And also, we can put churches in here too. The churches is a valuable asset to this community, and we want to make sure that we push that information out to the churches as well. Winsboro Water and Fairfield Electric can also have access to the system to push their alerts as need be to us. What I wanted to do in this moment was just really ask council how did they feel about receiving those alerts and get some feedback, whether negative or positive feedback.
I got my alert. Did you get yours?
Yes, I did.
He didn't buy my dinner. Did he buy yours? No, Councilman Griffin, I think this is a great idea. I think this is something that's definitely in your lane, so to speak. And you know, I received an email. I received a text message. I don't believe I received a phone call, but it does work. There has been misinformation placed out there. I think it's a good idea to have a centralized location to contact citizens at a moment's notice. My only, and I don't want to call it a concern, but a note would be the safeguarding and protection of individuals' information. And when you alluded to individuals accessing the system, I believe that if an individual accessed the system, that piece of information would be subject to FOIA, not the underlying information, which I believe would be classified as PII, which is personal identifiable information. That information would not be subject to FOIA. Just so people, if they do opt in, provide their name, telephone, email, any other identifiable information, possibly address, that information would not be subject to FOIA. I don't believe, would it, Ms. Yeah, that's my thought. Thank you.
And to clear up that, this program is used by NASA, FBI, DEA, a whole host of federal agencies. So as far as security and safeguard, that's in place. I mean, if the FBI and NASA and DEA is using it, and the Supreme Court is using it, and South Carolina Highway Patrol is using this for a lot of their response pieces. So I'm pretty sure they have the securities in place if those agencies are using it. But I appreciate that comment, sir.
Can I echo the comment? I mean, I've used a program like this for about 8-10 years. Department of the Army uses it, and we use it for things like severe weather, roads are closed, we have a delayed start, or severe weather is on the way, release your personnel. And you get a text and you get an email, and however you opt to receive it. And then there's a code on it that says remove me, and it's as simple as pushing number 2 and you won't receive anymore. Again, like Councilman Griffin said, if we did go forward with this, it would be an opt-in only. And then if you want to know what's going on and you want to receive these emergency messages, then you would in a timely fashion. The example was that hazmat vehicle. I believe the town of Ridgeway had to shelter in place until they found out if it was a hazard. And then people, if the wind blows towards Blythewood, what would we do? So I think it's a great optional service for citizens to have who are interested in it and support.
Well, what I'll do at this point, I'll work with Mr. Williamson on any of the pieces from the company Ready Op, so I'll link you into that, and I'll disengage myself once I link you into that, and I'll be here to support if need be.
Any other comments? Thank you, Councilman Griffin. Part 3 tonight is our action items. And, we have citizen testimony regarding action items as they're presented. So if you wish to speak, please signify. Part A is a second reading, the discussion and approval of ordinance 2022.011 to provide for an amendment to the installment purchase plan of finance relating to certain capital projects in the town and other related matters. Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There are no changes since the first reading, although this was taken to the Blythewood Facilities Corporation, which also required to approve any amendments, and that took place earlier last week, and they approved it. So once this is approved, then it will be fully into effect.
Council members?
A motion to approve ordinance 2022.011.
It's been probably motioned and seconded to approve the second reading of ordinance 2022.011. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The ordinance is approved. Thank you. Part B, discussion and approval of the use of funds from the community promotions account of the general fund to cover rental costs of Ducko Meadows Park Field for local sports organizations. Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Several organizations use the Ducko Meadows Park fields for athletic practices and games, and the current rate is $50 per hour. The Blythewood Bengals football and cheer is requesting to use the field through November for some practices for no charge. And the Blythewood Soccer Club is also requesting to use the fields as well during that time for no charge. Additionally, Soccer Shots is a for-profit business that currently pays the $50 fee per hour to use the field. And meanwhile, Christie, Councilman McKenrick, and I are working on getting these fees into a fee schedule that will include all the fees having to do with Ducko Manor and Ducko Meadows Park. Tonight, staff is seeking some guidance from council on how to charge the fees for these organizations who are putting forth this request, and also just into the future.
Thank you. And we have a history. The reason why this is on the agenda tonight is, number one, is pressing. Organizations want to start using the field. In the past, we've allowed them to use it at no cost. Well, there is a cost to the town for seeding and grass maintenance and things. And then we had the football club under Ms. Janet Dow asked to have it, and we said no. We already gave some money to her organization. And going forward, we just have to find what's fair for all involved, and we do apply the same standard to any organization. Personally, I believe $50 an hour is kind of too high. It's an exorbitant amount. We've looked at other municipalities who charge half that or less for the use of the field, for its maintenance in the long term. So I just wanted the council to discuss tonight. We did add action item in case we decide to set a date for a decision or perhaps make a decision at the joint planning meeting on the 1st of August. But we need to give guidance to our citizens so they understand. Mr. Williamson does not have the authority to set the fees. The council has to approve that. The rentals of here, the fields, the amphitheater, so on and so forth. It needs to be a council decision. So that's why we have it in tonight's agenda. So I welcome your comments, council members.
Mayor.
Please, Councilman Brown.
You just stated that Mr. Williamson does not have the authority to establish fees, yet we have a $50 per hour fee that's established. How did we arrive at that fee and when?
That was set former councils before. And the business policy that Councilman McKenrick is working with Ms. Coggins and Mr. Williamson to establish will be voted on by this body.
Okay.
So it was done before our time.
So that number was actually codified?
It hasn't been codified yet, but it will be.
Okay, so it was done administratively at some point in the past, or there was a council. There's a vote on the record somewhere.
At some time in the past, I believe it came before council. But it should, it should come before council. Okay. It needs to be addressed.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor.
Please, Councilman.
So my question and concern with the $50 per hour fee is, I believe Cobblestone charges $15 or $20 an hour for the field. I can't remember what Richland County charges. It's somewhere around the same ballpark. $10 an hour. Thank you, sir. What's Cobblestone? 15? 18? So that's another piece that we could look at doing as a percentage fee. For me personally, I would like to probably stay somewhere around the $18 range, $20 range an hour. I think that's comfortable for us moving forward.
Mr. Mayor, point of order.
Please.
Ms. DuPont, are we allowed to discuss fees? Is that allowed within this action item, the discussion of fees? We just can't take any action on that particular matter, only the matter that's before us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, so I would, somewhere in that middle range would probably be comfortable. That's just my opinion. But I would love to hear from the prospective ball clubs that's present today on that fee.
Dow, Blythewood Bengals president. I wanted to kind of touch on, if I could, just take for a second, last month's meeting. For those of you that don't know, Blythewood Bengal football is my life, but I'm also a single mother with a special needs child. And I was on my way to the meeting last month and had an emergency with my son. So it was not that I didn't care. It was portrayed that way, I felt. That I didn't think enough about what I was asking for to be present, and that is absolutely not the case. But my children come before anything else in my life, and that night I had a problem that I had to handle. So back on Bengal football, I am at no point asking for free use of anything. Mr. Williams, we have had conversation about that, and I've thought about it more, Mr. Williamson, and I'm not expecting that. I do realize that the town has been extremely generous in allowing the Blythewood Bengal football organization to receive the $11,000. I do not take that for granted. It's never happened in the history of this football program, and we've been around 18 years. Everything is completely funded by registration fees. I currently charge $225, and I spend $150 on uniforms per child. So I'm surviving off of $75, paying insurance, field rental. The high school is going to get me for $1,700 every time I touch that field this year, which is 4 times. So I need everybody to understand that, yet I'm very thankful for what we've received. That money will literally go from my hand to the school district's hand. So I am back, and like I said, I'm thankful for that because I don't know where I would have come up with that. But at the same time, I still have a lot of needs within the organization. So I would ask maybe that we consider something similar to what I'm paying currently now. My problem was I was looking at paying that $1,250 to Kelly Mill effective August 1, in addition to approximately $2,400 that I owe at this moment as of this Thursday for the current use of the field that I've been using. And so that was something that I wasn't able to figure out how I was going to do. We started a fundraiser in our organization last week with the hopes of coming up with the money to do some of the things we need to do. Unfortunately, and I'm going to do this without crying, one of my 8-year-old children took his life on Friday. And so I have a family faced with a funeral expense that they don't have the money to pay for. There's no life insurance. So I'm going to have to redirect some of that funding in an area that I didn't expect to have to do that. So I just, at this point, I ask, for whatever. Again, I'm not asking for it for free. It's a phenomenal program, and we look the best this year than we've looked in the 10 years I've been around. Very proud of my staff, very proud of where we are, and I'm very thankful for all the support I get. And I don't want it to feel like, to sound like I'm not. But that's what my feelings on it. If we could come up with something, for me, $300 a week for practice, in the grand scheme of things, with all the weeks I need it, it's a lot. And it's just something I can't afford to do. It's a problem I'm faced at the school district with a $200 a day practice fee. Why I'm not there either. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Ms. Dow, have you asked Richland County for funding?
Richland County, I have not, no. I have a great staff this season, a phenomenal vice president that has really stepped up to the plate to help me with a lot of that administrative stuff, and he was deployed last week for the entire season. So, do the best you can. And like I said, I didn't even know that Blythewood had a program like this until someone told me about it. Never applied for it. I didn't know it existed. So we are looking into some other things. And we would be fine with the fundraiser we're doing without the situation that happened. And, ultimately I'm going to take care of that's my child, one of my boys, and I'm going to make sure he has what he needs. So, anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless his family, and God bless you, ma'am, for what you do. Okay. So perhaps something we should take up at the joint session as an agenda item for us. Okay. Please. Go ahead.
You're fine. I'm Frank Cahoon. I'm one of the founders and president of the Blythewood Soccer Club. I prepared a bunch of remarks here, but to be honest with you, I'll cut to the chase a little bit here. We've never asked for anything from the town. We've been very appreciative of each and everything we've program wouldn't exist without the town's allowance of the field. We approached the town June of 3 years ago, 1999, about it, talked to the town administrator at the time. They were looking for ways to grow the use of the field. We were looking for places to play. Just like them, we're a community-based organization. We're not a big corporation like some of the other clubs in the area. So we depend, everything we go goes right back into the community, one way or another, be it scholarships, be it new equipment, be it new programs or whatever. Some of y'all council members have been involved in the program. Hopefully some of y'all have been out on Friday nights here and see the 300 plus kids that come out, the enjoyment they have, the 40 or 50 kids that come out each night. During prime business hours here in town, spending money, raising hospitality tax, and sales tax. So we've never asked for additional, so we were very appreciative. Y'all gave us money last year. We couldn't survive without it. With that said, we also recognize there's a cost in doing business. Again, we're more than welcome to share our part of it. Any additional fees we pay is something that we pass on to the end consumers. It's part of what cost of everything going up. You got to understand that. But back to what Councilman Sloan mentioned about area things. We pay $10 an hour anytime we use lighted fields at RCRC because we are a 501c3 organization. We just started a new program starting this fall in Ridgeway. We're a field there. They're going to improve the field for us and make it more soccer compliant. Mow it nice. Let's line it up. Set equipment out there. So on. $10 an hour. Help spend $18 an hour. It is the private community. Fine. If we have to pay it, we pay it. The thing that I'm having to do here now, and the big issue with the change in the time of this is, our practice started at night. Our registration's open. All of our budget, all of our planning is based on agreed upon amounts we submitted back in April and May. We have our full schedule for the entire year. It's been agreed upon and accepted. Now, granted, council hasn't approved it. I understand that. So for us to come back now and get hit with $50 an hour for roughly 166 hours in the fall, 139 hours in the spring, that's a substantial hit to the bottom line. If you figure $50 an hour, you're talking, $15 grand additional to the line. Our total budget's less than 50, of which the vast majority of that goes straightly to the training. Each of our kids had individual professional training instead of having to rely on parent coaches to make sure we have a certain quality of training. Of that money that we get, see 100 kids, $100 a month, that's $10,000. $8,100 that goes directly to the training. Of that, $10 per player goes to uniforms. $7 per player goes to state, and you got insurance, you got equipment, you got coaching fees. There's not much left in that bottom line. We're agreement that there's definitely needs to share the cost. No, I don't think anybody in this room will argue that. The problem for us is the timing. We can't shift that to anyone else. We have to do it now. After the fact, we'd have to eat it. I mean, I'd personally probably write one check, but still, that's the key thing. So back to what I was saying. $50, $20 is still substantially higher to meet the market, especially since it's not mowed half the time. There's a lot of other things. And like I said, if you look at the benefits we provide to the community, I think more than offsets a little bit of work, a little bit of difference between $10 and $20. That's my thought, and I appreciate all the support at this point in time. All that's not underappreciated. So thank you very much for the time.
One question, sir. I'm sorry.
No,
you good. So it sounds like $10 an hour is like a middle type of in the road fee. Am I correct? Okay. So, going on for the rest of this season, what would be your best case scenario to finish out the rest of this season?
What would be the best case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
That we would continue with the agreement we already had in place through the end of the season and then pick it up in spring.
So if that's the case, you're willing to pick up whatever we decide, whether it's 10, 15?
I'm willing to.
In the next year.
You tell me to.
Yes, sir.
But second of all, I would think that, again, hasn't been in front of the council, but we've had a contact agreement with Steve, with now Christy. All this was done back in April and May. The budget was laid out. Again, y'all are more than welcome to look at our financials. So the issue with us is the timing of it. If you were to hold off till January, or even November, December, because we don't have anything, not a problem. We could adjust our fees, raise everybody $10. It's not a big deal. Everybody's getting inflation now, so it's not a big issue. The timing is what's killing us.
And that's my concern with it, is that the agreements were already designed, put in place, and you're executing those agreements currently. And if we adjust it right now, we're pretty much digging in your pockets for that adjustment. But if we, in our decisions on council, in our next meeting, if we come up with whatever fee schedule, and January 1 start date, this is the fee moving forward type deal. I know you're fine with it, and I just want to,
No, I think
establish that.
I will say that, at least with, you look at Richland County, for example, they do charge a high rate for non-501c3 organizations. So if you have a professional organizations out there actually making profit off of it, like the organizations here tonight, then they could probably share a little bit more of that.
Yeah, like
Fortunately,
soccer shots. Is that one?
Great program. Again, they are for profit. Yeah. But I would agree, yes, sir. That would be very agreeable if you could do that, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Have you asked the county for money also?
I've never asked the county for money, and I've never asked the town for hospitality tax or any kind of tax. Y'all did give us $1,000 last year out of the greatness of your heart. We used that for scholarships. I had a couple players that won on the academy team and a couple of rec players that we used that to went directly from us to cover them. Part of our mission is to provide and grow the sport in the area, which increases making it accessible for everybody. You're talking $100 a kid or whatever it is. That's costly for a lot of the younger players. If you add that to us, we add to them. That's just even fewer people have access to the sport. That's not fun. Anything else?
You have a lot of the same issues as the football and the baseball program.
But thank you for allowing me to talk. Everything's appreciated. Everything out there.
Thank you, sir.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Please, Councilman Brown.
Councilman McKendrick is not here, but he took it upon himself, I believe, to set up a quasi-committee with the town administrator and Ms. Coggins as ways to increase the revenue to either A, to turn the park and the amphitheater into a profit center, or B, at a minimum, stop the bleeding. Because what did we transfer last year to true up? $188,000 is my math or memory. It was a large number that we transferred to true up the loss from the manor in the park. I hear the organizations tonight. I just can't understand how the town of Blythewood is responsible for funding everybody's recreation. If that's the case, and we start if the fields are open carte blanche, then everybody should be able to come and have access. You shouldn't be able to just fill it up every day because you're first in line, because it's gratis. We need to open up to other organizations as well. And there needs to be a rank and file system where, you pick your day that you want, another organization picks the day they want, another organization picks the day they want. If we're going to open it up and let everybody use the fields, then it needs to be for everybody. And any organization that approaches, whether it's football, lacrosse, soccer, rugby, any other sport that I can't think of that would use a multi-purpose field, they need to have access too. So I concur. I believe, Mr. Mayor, you responded in an email that $50 is, for lack of a better word, egregious. I concur. And I do believe we need to charge a fee. $10 seems to be a kind of a middle-of-the-road happy medium. But at the same time, if we're going to charge $10, we have to maintain these fields as well. We have to hold up our end of the bargain. Mr. Williamson, you listed 3 options at the end of your memo. I don't particularly like any of them. So, is there a way to defer this action until the next meeting? We could discuss amongst ourselves and come up with a better action item?
I recommended that, the wording of this one was not ideal. But if we get together before August 1st, then we come to the joint planning session, and that would be an action item for us to discuss at that time. I think we could pull it together by the 1st of August.
When would we make any recommendations retroactive to a prior fiscal year? Because we are crossing fiscal years here with this request. I would actually recommend no, we don't. To keep your accounting clean.
That would be part of the discussion on the 1st of August, I think. I'm just trying to prevent talking about it here and put it as
That's a question. I'm not asking for. I'm not opening up for discussion.
Gotcha. Any other comments? Moving to Part C, discussion and approval of the state accommodations tax. I'm sorry.
Don't we have to take action on this?
No.
Is this an action item? Can we move to defer?
Yeah, or do nothing.
Okay, so if we do nothing, it just dies and let's just come back?
Part C, discussion and approval of the state accommodations tax advisory committee bylaws and appointment of committee members. Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is purely a request by staff to formalize the state accommodations tax advisory committee's rules of procedure and its current roster. Rules of procedure are almost identical to our other boards and commission, and the current roster that has been established but not completely approved by council. Additionally, it establishes terms for each seat, which we didn't have previously. There are no policy changes proposed with this item. It's just a governance to bring it into compliance as a committee of the town.
Okay. And what is the staff recommendation? Do you have the list?
The staff recommendation is to approve the rules of procedure and the roster that's included.
Yeah, okay. So the roster with the names and when their seat would expire. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Ms. White, when were you requested to join the SAT committee? Do you remember? Five years ago? Okay, ballpark. So it was before you took the position at the chamber, correct? Okay. My question is there a conflict of interest with her being the cultural liaison on this committee and her holding employment at the Blythewood Chamber of Commerce?
Possibly. I mean, we can look at that. And also, I think it would depend on what the events are that are coming before them. We generally have kind of steered away from events and more towards things like the Historical Society or Camp Discovery to come to the state accommodations tax because it has a different set of rules and it just makes it simpler. But we can look at that.
Well, it's actually very easily solved as there's an open seat and you could just move the cultural liaison to that open seat.
And then hire a new cultural liaison.
And then recommend a new cultural liaison. Yes, I'm not recommending.
I'm not sure exactly what the definition of cultural liaison is, but that would probably be it.
It's in the statute. But I think that would clear up any potential conflict. And do we have any recommendations for seat 7?
I mean, I've not received any.
Okay. That's something we usually advertise, or?
Yes, it would be in the newsletter, just like the other boards and commissions. I think in the past it was sort of handpicked because it has to be made up of the accommodations or hospitality industry, and I think Mr. Armstrong just had contacts whom he requested to be on there. So, combination of things. But we did get the Home to Suites manager who said she was agreeable to serve.
And everybody else on this list been contacted as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Do we have a motion to approve the advisory committee bylaws and appointment of committee members with terms?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Our probably motion is seconded to approve the state accommodations tax advisory committee bylaws and appointment of committee members. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd recommend amending that motion to remove the title cultural liaison from Ms. Chris White. Friendly amendment if accepted by the original requester.
That's fine. And she's representing the chamber? Is that?
Well, you can have two at-large members on that committee. Okay. She would be one of the at-large. it's either 2 from hospitality and 3 from restaurants, or 3 and 2. I'm not exactly sure, but there are 2 at large.
I would say that it's changed.
Thank you, Councilman.
Do we have a second to the amendment? Change the title? The motion was changed.
I can't second my own.
Oh, you made the motion? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I can't second my own. No. Okay, well, I guess it might just die.
I will second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have, any further discussion? All approved, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Part D tonight is hospitality tax final report for the 2022 DOCO Rodeo. Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's actually local accommodations tax. That was an error on the agenda. So the fiscal year 2022 DOCO Rodeo was held on April 22nd and 23rd. It was a 2-day format. Estimated attendance was 6,000. On Friday, they received 73% of the attendees came from 25 miles or more, and on Saturday night, 78% came to the rodeo from 25 miles or more, and in fact, much farther than that and out of state. The marketing campaign was extensive, including the town of Blythewood mentioned throughout, with billboards, posters, magazine ads, social media posts, and lots of television coverage, and social media is continuing to attract attention. And they are here to request the final 20% of the allocated amount of $25,000.
Council member comments.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I have some questions.
Please, Councilman Brock.
Is there an individual here that can answer my questions?
I see Mr. Coggins here. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Mr. Coggins, thank you for coming. You came in when it was raining pretty hard outside. So, first question is on, I don't know what page this is. It's 29 on my packet. So spectators came from several states. Friday travelers came from, and you list several states, and Saturday travelers came from. Various states listed are California, Idaho, Kansas, Missouri, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Alabama, Jersey, Pennsylvania, so on and so forth. Were those spectators or were those participants?
Came through the front gate.
They came through the front gate.
They're on the zip code collection. You took your ATAX funds applied and you applied it to the expenses that are listed out here, right? Say again?
You took the ATAX funds that your anticipation of receiving, the $25,000, and you netted those against the expenses associated with that, the qualified expenses.
Yes, sir.
And then your remaining balance is the $49,358. Is it fair to say, I'm looking at your attendance that's on the same page. You list advance gate, contestant gate, staff, vendor, IRPA, VIP sponsor, box comps. Of those 5 categories, how many of those are paid tickets?
Advanced and gate.
Advanced and gate. And do you have a breakdown of the categories between adult, youth, and kids 5 and under?
No. I have a historical.
What's your historical breakdown of that?
It's somewhere around $8 a ticket's the average.
So you do an average $8 ticket.
That zip code thing you're referring to is right here, 25 pages
How'd you collect that?
individually.
Just standing at the gate, writing them down on the clipboard?
Yeah, there's 4 people there.
Okay.
And it's been about, since I'm not a data entry person, about 12 hours punching it in myself.
A lot of time.
Yes, sir.
If you sum up the Friday gate and the Friday advance and the Saturday gate and the Saturday advance, you get 5,420 tickets sold.
Through the gate.
The gate and the advance. Would you be willing to provide the breakdown of adults and youth of the advance ticket sales? Do you think that's reflective of the overall crowd? Because those are measurable by, I don't know who processes your advance ticket sales, whether it's PayPal, Square, and some other.
Yeah, for what reason?
Because I'd like to try to get a better idea of the breakdown of your attendance. Because $8 is a far cry from 16.
Well, it's a far cry from 0 too, Don.
It is.
I got $0 tickets. I got $10 tickets, $9 tickets, $15 tickets, $16 tickets. I've got people going through the gate with box seat tickets. Those are 0 tickets.
Yeah, but aren't they reflected in paid sponsors / box seats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I can get back to you on it if that's what you need. But
yeah, I'd like to see that if you don't mind. Just the percentages. Adults.
Yeah,
are people buying free tickets online? Is there an option for a free ticket online?
No, there's not. But they're largely adult tickets buying tickets online because youth can't buy tickets online. So unless they're buying them for their families, so it's skewed a little bit different. It's probably around the $10.50 mark on that. But nonetheless, I can probably get back to you on it.
Okay, I guess what's throwing me off is that I'm looking on your website and it says adult 16, youth 6 to 12, $10, kids 5 and under free. But you say you have various ticket prices. 16 is the top.
Advanced ticket has advanced rate has a reduction if you buy advanced before the rodeo. Then it goes off.
How much is that?
$1 or $2 a ticket.
Okay, we'll go with 2. Okay. Okay, I have no more questions, Mr. Mayor.
You have another one? I'm sorry, did you say no more questions?
No more.
Go ahead, please, Councilman Ballman. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Councilman Ballman.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Comments? Mr. Mayor, please, Councilman Griffin.
So, Mr. Coggins, I'm looking at revenue numbers. I'm looking at reported revenue of $73,202. Reported expenses $49,358.08. Before the approval of the 20%, which is $5,000, your profit is $23,841.92. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's what that
I'm
says.
not a mathematician, but
That already has the 5,000 added in it.
yes, the 28 does. So I know most of the time when we look at events, and sometimes what I struggle with is not your event personally, so please don't take it personal. But what I struggle with is when I look at numbers that are far exceeding, and that's great. That is 100% great. That's where you want to be. Because I looked at one document, and the rodeo is considered a for-profit. So that's what for-profit businesses does. They want to make money. Non-profits are more looking at the social aspects and community outreach per se before actually the bottom dollar coming back. So I'm looking at your numbers, and your numbers are good, and historically your numbers are good. Is that any of that money rolls back over, or is that administratively monies at the end of the day? Because the new money comes in when we hand out another $25,000. That's new money. So does that potential $28,000 get added onto the 25?
5,000's in there, but the $23,000 profit is a result of a rodeo that had a perfect storm, perfect weather, everybody ready to get out, the best rodeo we've ever had. And I continually come up here for 12 years and tell you, I can't do this without you. You know, we've never had a profit discussion. Nobody's told me don't go make a profit. They told me to go get people to come to Blythewood and build something that will bring people to Blythewood. And they told me to do zip checks, and I've done that. And I know where my people are coming from, and I know where to go advertise. And I've done exactly what you've asked me to do. And now we've had a great year. I'll agree. It's a good number. I'm happy with it. But it shouldn't, this meeting to me is not about whether I made a profit or not. It's about how many people came to Blythewood. Close to 7,000 people spent the weekend in Blythewood. I'll just read you a couple excerpts since we're in this discussion. But this is just straight off the Facebook page. This is just people that attended the rodeo. It was an awesome night. I loved it. I won't give you the name. Charlotte, North Carolina. It was definitely worth the drive from Myrtle Beach and back. See y'all in October. Myrtle Beach. What a weekend. Columbia, South Carolina. Fabulous. Congratulations on your success, Columbia. My daughter and I drove from Conway and spent the weekend in your beautiful area to attend your rodeo for her 11th birthday. It was definitely worth the drive, and the experience her and I got to share was amazing. Thank you. Conway, South Carolina. We had an awesome time. Definitely will be back. Gallivant's Ferry, South Carolina. Blythewood Rodeo. We love this rodeo, and we're thankful to have it in our town. Blythewood, South Carolina. Enjoyed it, but need to fix the seating problem. Newberry, South Carolina. Thank you for a beautiful time, Blythewood. Can't wait, Blythewood. We can't wait, Irmo. We'll make a guest appearance, Belton. Need to make plans to go with us. Willie and I are going. South Carolina, that's just days prior to it. This is near us. Were you guys ready to cowgirl up to a friend in New York State? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what you guys asked me to do 12 years ago. And when we stayed in here, and I sat with Mayor Keith Bailey at that time, we said, we can do this. We're going to have a little help. And the town gave us a little bit of help. And we had 1,200 seat bleachers. And we pulled it off. And we had USC playing for a national championship against UCLA, and we had rain. And somehow we did it for 2 or 3 years. And we've continued to have the support and the help. And I couldn't do it without you. We were all here. We had the discussion in October. Friday night, a blast. 2,800 people. I don't know what the record says. I didn't look at it. Come back on Saturday night, pouring rain. And we had rain. We had rain Friday night prior to the event. But we had rain on Saturday night. the last Saturday, last April, just about rained us out. We had 1,200 people. And so, and I think we all stood in the town's box there and said, this is the reason that it's important to have funding from the town. Because last night, we could have done it without you. And we're happy that we did. But tonight, there was no way. And so I got to have your help. I mean, if y'all want to change the way we do it and what the purposes of the funding is for down the road, I mean, I'll have to accommodate that, I guess. But, you know, I stand here before you happy that we've come to a point where we can make this happen. And maybe we need to look at the event to be part of the town, because it's always been a town partnership event. But, you know, 7 out of 11 years when it rained, I've never stood up here and people say, gosh, man, you're really close to losing money there with all that rain. We might need to kick you a little more. You know, we're not having that discussion. I mean, I'm taking 100% of the risk, and I'm glad to do it. There's no fees on that thing. You want to call it profit? I mean, you come out here and spend 5 or 6 months of your life doing, because Blythewood wants to do 2 rodeos a year, and I'm not got sour grapes. I'm happy to do it. I love it, but you know, work with what you love. But it's still work, and I spend 6 months while you guys are, you know, doing what your careers are. I mean, not that the rodeo is my career, but I put my career on hold. Largely, not 100%, but I slow way down so that I can contribute a good 5 to 6 months of my efforts, and I don't know what my value is on a dollar rate, but I guarantee you it's over 500-600 hours to get this thing pulled off. So go figure. I mean, you know, and I've never come up here to be. I've never considered this meeting well. It's a profit meeting. Well, you know, if I made 23, 28, whatever it is, net profit on the thing, yes, we reinvest some of that. Yeah, we bought new fencing, new perimeter fencing, new safety fencing, several different things. But what's the economic impact for Blythewood? What do you want me to do? I mean, we've got another rodeo across town that's had an economic impact study from West Columbia that says they produce $1.5 million, $2 million worth of economic impact. They have a third of the contestants, or a third of the crowd that we have.
Have you ever had an economic impact study?
I don't even know how to do it. So if y'all want to do it, we can do it. But I mean, I understand a little bit about it, Don, but I really, you know, I couldn't tell you to do it. I do my own. I'll tell you how scientific I am. For 12 years, I put $5,000 worth of $2 bills in the change box. And we make change back with $2 bills. And then I get grief from every business owner in Blythewood for 3 weeks. Damn these damn $2 bills. And then the bank gets them all collected back up and sends them off, and then we see you again next year. But people know that the money rolls in Blythewood. Now, all I can afford to track is the $2 bills. But how many 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s are cycling through Blythewood 8, 10, 12 times for 3 weeks? I mean, I think I'm doing my part for Blythewood. And I, you know, my numbers are correct. My research you asked me to do is correct. My efforts are exemplary for what I try to do. And all I try to do is build Blythewood. And that's all I've done for 12 years. And I'm damn glad, I'm damn proud that we're where we're at. And I'm going to get bigger. I want to get bigger if y'all want to do it. But
appreciate that. Like I said, my questions, and like I said in the beginning, please don't take it as a shot at you or anybody else. Folks come and ask us, every one of us represent people, and people come and ask you questions. Mm-hmm. So I'm only asking that question based off of what someone's have asked me when they looked at the agenda. And you can go back in tapes. I usually don't break numbers down. So it had to be a good consensus of somebody's asking me. But right. just so that they know, you know, you said the 28 goes back into some costs back into the rodeo, some administrative costs. Do you have a breakdown of those numbers after the fact?
Councilman Griffin, he's a for-profit business. That's really not our business.
I'm not. I mean, I came here to talk about zip codes and 7,000 people in Blythewood, and I'd really like somebody to read a little bit of my report about what the hell happened at the rodeo. No, I don't. And if I did, I don't think I'd share them here in a public venue. Honestly, and I mean, I don't mean to be curt about it, but does it matter? I mean, to the town of Blythewood, does it matter? Because if it does, we've got to adjust something. I mean, we're doing the wrong thing. I mean, I'm doing what you're telling me to do.
Mr. Coggins, you stated that your numbers are correct. And you stated that 7,000 people came into Blythewood, which I assume is
6,000 plus.
6,800
Yeah.
is attendance. And you stated that there was an average ticket price of $8. Well, that number is 54,400. You report a revenue of 43,902. That's kind of where I have the problem. And I understand you are a for-profit business. I'm looking at your application for fiscal year 2023, organization name, Fed ID, 501c3. No. You are profit motivated, and you should absolutely make as many dollars as you can.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how you get to your numbers, and I can't get there.
Well, I think your $8 number was just an estimate. That's what
you
don't know. I mean, you can't know.
Sorry, guys. I'm a one-man guy. I mean, when I'm not selling tickets, I'm shoveling horse manure. So I'm doing whatever it takes to get it done. And let's see where you're at here. Yeah. I guess we had a big year of kids. Looked like that to me. I mean,
yes, sir.
I can tell you one thing. We were full when we started, and at 8 o'clock, 8:30, we had 500 or 600 seats empty. That's usually the 1- and 2-year-olds that go home early, so they're not buying a ticket.
I guess a lot of times.
And I'm not the most scientific guy, but I sleep good at night.
Questions, comments? Do we have a motion to approve the final report from the 2022 DOCO Rodeo? Second. I will second the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
No.
The vote is tied. The motion fails. Thank you, Mr. Coggins. Part E tonight. Is this also local accommodations, or is this hospitality, Mr. This is hospitality. Part E tonight, hospitality tax final report from the 2022 Rib Fest.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The applicant is the Greater Blythewood Chamber of Commerce. The event was March 11th and 12th, 2022. The 2-day event for the Rib Fest, estimated attendance between 1,500 and 2,000. The zip code analysis showed that 18.5% traveled greater than 50 miles to the event. It's well advertised on throughout ads and social media. And they're here to request their 20%. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Fry, are you here, sir, or do you have somebody? I mean, do you wish to speak? Do you wish to speak is what I meant. I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor.
Please, Councilman Brock.
Point of correction. Mr. Williamson, on the cover letter submitted by Mr. Fry, it states that, hold on. Never mind. I'll find what I'm looking for. Oh, no, I'm sorry. On the final report sheet in paragraph A, section A, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, the clipboard sheets we had provided were wet from the rains and illegible. Therefore, the zip code analysis is null in this particular instance, and that number, which is 31.9% of attendees, that's actually 31.9% of vendors and contestants, which is found in the paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the final report summary, which only shows 119 vendors and contestants. So that number is not, quite frankly, very relevant.
I mean, I was here both days, and there were thousands of people in the park. I'm not concerned.
There were thousands when they say 2,000 at best.
Yeah, well, that's two, so that would be plural.
Not at all at
Mr.
once.
Fry? You wish to come up, sir? Thank you for being here. Council member comments, questions for Mr. Fry?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Griffin.
Mr. Fry, can you go through the spreadsheet to explain your numbers? As far as the revenue and expense. Because it looks like you're showing a negative $18.05.
A negative $18.05.
Mm-hmm. That's what's on my sheet. It says net income if 20% H-tax awarded, negative $18.05. That's what's on my form.
That will be $3,218.
Okay.
That's before.
Is that a typo,
That's
Mr.
before.
Wilson?
That's before.
It's not a typo. It's taken strictly from the spreadsheet.
We pulled it off the spreadsheet. We can check, but that's what at 321805.
It says net income if 20% awarded, which means it's calculating the 20% in there, which means you'd have to take minus 3,200 to arrive at the actual net income, or in this case, net loss.
That is with the $3,200 requested. It'd be $6,400 loss without it.
So that means with the 3,200, you still need 18, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You still need $18.05.
No, sir. What we're requesting is $3,220 as the 20% allocation.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves us with a $3,218.05 loss. It would be $6,418.05 without it.
That's not what our report says.
Well, I don't know what
That's
you
what's
see.
confusing to me. So don't.
It could be a typo on that.
Then
We can look at it again.
Can we bring this back Monday?
Yeah, please don't take this as a hit. I'm trying to figure out the sheet is not reading.
Well, we can address it tonight. The biggest problem I have is I can't read this Excel spreadsheet that's massive, page 46 in our packet.
We did it.
I mean, the net revenue on page 46
That's a negative 32,1805. So the report is correct.
So I think we missed the minus sign there. Yeah, so that's correct. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah, so
Okay.
32,1805.
Negative 32,1805 is the net revenue, plus the 3,200, 20% leaves.
No, sir. No, sir.
Including
With the 3,200, 20%, the net revenue would be negative 32,1805. As you can see up top, we included the sponsorships, all of them. That included the total 16,000.
Okay, got you.
Where in this report does it list your revenue broken down by ticket sales, merchandise?
Line item in the report.
Okay.
On that spreadsheet.
Can you tell me which line item?
The line items are not numbered per se. Revenue, Town of Blythewood H-Tax, 16,000. Sponsorships, there's 4,000, 4,500, 6,000, 10,000. Those are on the projected to start with. You're not going to find it there because that's only asking for what we spent the money on in the town, of the town's money. If you go over to the far right-hand column, you see the actual revenues. On the left-hand side is what we projected to start with our ask. And then on the actual, on the right-hand side, is what was actually received. The problem is, you say you can't read it, but then you want me to break it down, so how can we do it?
I don't see where it says revenue up there. I see
R-E-V-E-N-U-E, right at the top top left-hand column.
Phil, confrontation is not going to win you any friends up here.
I'm not, listen.
Yes, you are.
Top left-hand column is revenue.
That says expenses, though, Phil.
R-E-V-N-U-E, top left column is revenue. That's the expense sheet down below. You got to go up to the sheet above.
There isn't one above. That's what we're getting at.
I don't think we have what
We
you
don't.
have.
Well, it was,
Would you like to apologize now, sir?
Please.
no, sir.
Unless you're going to yell at me, I'm not going to give you the time of day when I don't have the information in front of me. Yes, I didn't have this. Mr. Mayor, would you like to look at this too? Yeah.
Please, thank you. I don't think we got scanned in.
No, we didn't have. We don't have. We don't. That's,
Yeah, we just have the expense. We have.
Can we table this to the next meeting?
No, I'd actually like to make a motion for a 10-minute recess so that we can review and then reconvene, and so that cooler heads may prevail.
The data.
Been probably a motion seconded to adjourn for 10-minute recess. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it.
Ms. Coggins, copy made of this so we can all look at it? Do we have a copy of it?
Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supporting the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doko Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doko Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and support of the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner at one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doco, which means gathering place. That's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supported the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Ribfest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin.
A short recess. Thank you for indulging us. Council members, please continue. Mr. Williamson, I know the staff reviewed this packet. Did you have any concerns at all?
Mr. Mayor, we were primarily concerned at looking at the amount of money that the town allocated to the event, and then were those expenses eligible, and were they? So that's what we primarily look at. So
And they comply?
And they comply and have eligible expenses
Okay, thank you.
that equal the amount that the town provided.
Williamson, you do not ask for all receipts, only receipts that are related to the hospitality
Correct.
receipts.
That's correct.
Is there any particular reason why that is?
It's just to simplify it. It's the way it's been done in the past, but it's just, I mean, what are we asking for? Did they use the town's money correctly or not? And the other receipts and the proofs of payment reflect that. That's what I'm looking for.
Do you believe that we have the right to ask for all receipts?
Do we have the right to ask for receipts of the funds that the town provided?
No, just all receipts. They're showing $87,758.05 in expenditures. Do you believe that we have the right to ask for every receipt that totals that 87?
I would have to just check to see how other towns do that. I'm not well versed enough on requesting receipts that don't have anything to do with the funds that were provided by the town.
Mr. Pott, what do you think? Just curious. I'm just curious. Ms. Fry, are you willing to answer any more questions?
Yes, sir.
What went right?
What went right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of planning, a lot of hard work, a lot of good sponsors, and a lot of effort and vendors, participants in the rib contest. The weather was obviously brutal.
I came. It was cold. It was windy. It was wet the night before.
It rained Friday all the way through. You might note in the packet, I took the time to have printed thank you notes to every vendor, participant, and very proudly got a number of responses, and there were some first-time vendors had never been to an event of ours before. They said, "Not your fault. When's your next event?"
It's safe to say you were a little disappointed with the results?
A couple of them have already said, have been badgering me, shall I say. Can we come to Oktoberfest?
That's good. It's good to hear.
Least I could do under those conditions. People suffered. They suffered.
Well, you're leading me, and I appreciate that. Have you ever considered a makeup date, like a rain date? Like if the weather's just not... Anytime you have an outdoor event, you take the risk of inclement weather. We understand that.
There's, as you can see, a lot of moving pieces.
I understand that.
And that's booking bands, that's when competitions for ribs, these are set dates. They're booked the next weekend. We have the first date of the year for the rib contest. And I think that's very crucial. It kicks off the season. The next weekend, the next 4 weekends, they're already booked. And then if you move it from that standpoint, what are you getting from the entertainment? What are you about the vendors? Can they come again and again? Other events? Tons of moving pieces. Goes without saying. Anytime an outdoor event, yeah, there's risk. We take that risk.
Not exclusively. The town shares in that risk. Approximately 19%. For clarification, now that we have all the information in front of us, Total reported revenue was $84,091, spot 50. The total reported expenses was $87,758.05 for a net loss of $3,666, spot 55 before the H-tax.
Before the
Request.
H-tax, before the 3,200 list. Yes, sir.
Yes. If approved, it would be $466.50 loss.
Yes, sir.
Other questions?
Are any of those, I'm sorry, are any of those losses part of the, what we're considering the H-tax categories? Do you still owe money in those categories that you can spend this money in? Or is this just to kind of shore up everything else?
The insurance is a set fee. The manor is a set fee. EMS, RCSD was $3,600 for their fees. The rentals for Thompson and CWS, that's the dumpsters and the porta potties. The advertising was pre-spent. Vans were pre-spent. So of the $16,000 we asked for, $34,000 was already in place. If there was anything we could have adjusted, say, send our CSD home.
So who do you still owe debt to?
I'm sorry?
Who do you still owe debt to?
I still didn't hear you. Say it again, please.
Do you still owe
Do you have any outstanding payables?
No, sir. We paid all the debts.
And I noticed on your cover sheet, you stated, we were delayed submitting this report due to significant delays in receiving some invoices from several service providers of this event.
RCSD and EMS in particular.
Okay.
It wasn't until June 5th, I believe it was, when we got the EMS.
I thought,
Per the application, you have 60 days upon completion of the event to submit for the 20%.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were late. It's a yes or no question.
Yes, we were late.
Okay. Okay.
And I relayed that to the town administrator prior to. I could submit it incomplete prior to that.
Well, you can always put a payable on the sheet, an estimate, and then true it up after the fact. It's done in accounting all the time.
you said EMS was late submitting you a invoice?
Absolutely.
What about the sheriff's department? Did they send it on time?
May 28th, I believe, was the date that I got it. Councilman, both of you, all of you, Mayor. Phone calls and emails to each of those. Where's my bill? I need to get it in. Quite honestly, there's a couple of the vendors as well, but those were the last two.
I haven't dealt with EMS as far as billing, so I can't talk about EMS. I dealt with the sheriff's department on billing, and they usually request their money 24 hours in it before the event for that invoice to be paid.
Not in my experience. There were actually, I had that same problem come when we had the Christmas parade. Mm-hmm. Took me a while to get the invoice.
Councilman Griffin, if you would refer to page 55 of our packet.
The new one?
No, the Adobe PDF that was emailed to us. There's an invoice from the Richland County Sheriff's Department. It's got some confusing information on it. It's got a date of 4/6/2022, a due date of 10/29/2021, and a range date of February 26th through 3/25. That may be okay. There's conflicting dates on this invoice. Not your fault, Mr. Fry. I don't know what to do with that. I have a tendency to think that the date of 4/6/2022 is correct.
And
The due date's wrong.
It's not a point at you either, Mr. Fry. It's just working knowledge. So I know they do the Signal 30 stuff differently, but I appreciate it.
The next page is Richland County EMS with a date of 5/18, which would have been about 2 months later.
That's not your fault. And those are your outstanding debts, right?
Oh, he said he's paid them all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other comments? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the final hospitality tax report from the 2022 Rib Fest? Do we have any other motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Please,
can
Councilman.
we table this to the next meeting? I'll make a motion to table,
I'm sorry, postpone.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Defer.
okay, either one.
postpone? Make a motion to postpone this vote until the next meeting to review further and get more details.
The 1 August joint session, or?
Yes, 1 August joint.
Do we have a second? I will second the motion. Any further discussion?
You might want to make sure Councilman Ballman's aware of what's going on.
Yeah, is he still on?
See him.
Right, there's a motion and a second. Do you have any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Did he vote? I didn't hear him.
He hasn't voted. He hasn't voted because I also vote no.
Any noes? 2 noes. So having tied, the motion fails. Part 4 tonight is the executive session per South Carolina Section 30-4-70. Part A, receipt of legal advice subject to attorney-client privilege regarding the contractual terms associated with potential acquisition of real property. Part B, receipt of legal advice subject to attorney-client privilege regarding claims and potential claims by and against the town. Part C, discussion of employment of a person to a public body, i.e. the town clerk. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion, sir.
Okay, please. Do we have a second to go into executive session?
Second.
It's been probably motion seconded to go into executive session. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We'll take a brief recess and then come back in executive session.
Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. That's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supporting the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doko Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doko Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supporting the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doco, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supported the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doco, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supported the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doco, which means gathering place. That's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and support of the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Ribfest, Doco Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doco Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and supported the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doko Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doko Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. That's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws crowds from all over the region and across the state, while also serving as a home to many industries and small businesses. Blythewood hosts numerous town events each year to support the people of this community and display the town's history, recreational activities, and support of the arts scene. From the large celebrations of Black History Month, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, to the annual Blythewood Rodeo, Rib Fest, Doko Film Festival, Oktoberfest, and of course, our annual town Christmas tree lighting event. Blythewood has something unique to offer every single month. You might come here for the sporting activities such as the championship caliber University of South Carolina equestrian team, the pristine Cobblestone Park golf course, and our top-notch high school athletic teams and recreation centers. Or you might come to spend the afternoon in our beautiful Doko Meadows Park, where we often host outdoor concerts, a weekly farmers market, and plenty of activities for the kids. Stay for dinner in one of our local restaurants or grab a quick bite to eat at one of the many chain restaurants you will find in our main road before heading home. Blythewood is a growing town, and we offer many benefits to businesses looking for a new home. We have recently partnered with Richland County to set aside 1,350 acres to be used as a light industrial park to attract industry-leading businesses and technical jobs to the town. Blythewood has a unique ability to attract larger industries looking for space to build while still offering many opportunities for small local businesses and eateries to thrive. We have a big vision by anyone's standards with a detailed, comprehensive 10-year plan to get us there. We welcome you to discover Blythewood and enjoy our warm, friendly attitude toward life and each other. Whether you're interested in recreation, business, or finding a new home, we thank you for your interest in Blythewood, and remember, you're always welcome. Hello, I'm Mayor Brian Franklin, and I would like to introduce you to the wonderful town of Blythewood, South Carolina. Those who live here take great pride in the history and culture of this town, and I would love to tell you a little about who we are and what we have to offer. Blythewood was founded by Native Americans who settled here long ago, naming this area Doko, which means gathering place. And that's exactly what this town is all about. Located just off of Interstate 77, just 15 miles north of Columbia and an hour south of Charlotte, Blythewood is a town rich with tradition, community, and activities, hosting large events year-round that draws
Thank you. We have reconvened back into open session, part 6 tonight. Are there any items requiring a vote following executive session?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion.
Councilman Brown.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to authorize the town administrator to bring before council up to 3 candidates for appointment for the town clerk position of the town of Blythewood.
Second that.
It's been probably motion and seconded to authorize the town administrator to conduct town clerk interviews, potential town clerk interviews, and bring before the council the top 3 candidates of his choosing. Any further discussion?
Up to
3 candidates for town council approval and appointment. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? You guys have it. Thank you, gentlemen. Part 7, open citizen comments. Hearing none. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
motion.
So probably motion is seconded to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned. Thank you.